Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
Yes, you are. And I am Chad Lee.
Yes, he is.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it each and every week. Any of you that tune in and take a little bit out of your day to listen to us bitch and talk about sports, we greatly appreciate it. Whatever you're listening or watching us on, please like, subscribe, and rate us 5 stars. It means the world to us. And also, go like and share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media at Fringe_Fanatics. On that note, Chad, we're back.
We are.
We're
Episode
here.
37.
Episode
it's happening.
37. It is Tuesday, June 6th.
June 6th, indeed.
We're trying to keep at least announcing the date so you guys know what day it is.
We're getting this one off a day earlier than last week, you know.
Yeah, I didn't have to work super long today. It was nice. I got off early.
Yeah.
Got my 8 hours in by 2 o'clock, and we were done.
That way we can yell at the TV, you know, tomorrow night and not be rushed by the podcast.
Yes, that'll be nice. Very nice.
And it'll be crazy. How was your weekend last week, man?
My week was pretty good. The weekend wasn't too, and I didn't do too much because it kept fucking raining. I need to get so much shit done in the yard, and I can't. Like, all of it is like dirt stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't really spread dirt when it's mud.
No, man, you can't do anything.
No.
It's literally rained like every day for the past week, man.
It's so crazy. I was wondering, like, it's probably rained almost every day for like over a month now.
Yeah.
At least somewhere in Colorado for a little bit of time, it has rained.
I would like to look it up because I bet it's the case. I mean, today it was super nice, very beautiful day, like 80 degrees. It wasn't even that hot. And then, of course, you know, got to right when you show up, you know.
I bring the rain, man.
You do. That's a good. You're bringing the thunder.
I bring the pain and I bring the rain. That's
Damn
why
right.
they call me Chris Zane the Pain.
That's like your wrestling name.
Chris Zane the Pain. Andrew, when I used to play softball for the company team, whenever I would come up to bat, Andrew would like announce me, and he'd be like, "Up to bat, Chris Zane the Pain."
Nice.
And like yell it out, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That's how you got to do an intro.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I should have like worn like a sweet tassely jacket or something and come out, you know, Banana Ball style.
Whoa, that would have been cool.
Speaking of which, if you haven't, go check out Banana Ball. They're doing great shit for baseball.
Oh, it's super fun.
Yeah,
man.
definitely. Chad Lee, though, how was your weekend, my friend?
My weekend was the best way to put it is like treat yourself.
Treat yourself?
It was Hannah and I's 5-year anniversary.
Oh,
Hard to
congrats.
believe. Half a decade, man. Flies by.
It does. I'm surprised she could put up with you for that long.
I know it. I am a pain, dude. It is nuts, just like you.
Exactly.
But I was shocked. It is nuts when things go well in a relationship. Time flies by.
It does.
Yeah.
They say
you're not fighting
time
and stuff.
flies when you're having fun.
That is so true. But
very true.
yeah, it was pretty cool because Friday night we went to Odyssey, went to the best Italian restaurant in Denver. Been open like since the 40s or something, I think. And it's in like a house too. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
If you've
that's
ever been,
cool.
You should definitely check it out. It's really good.
It's called Odyssey?
Yeah, Odyssey. It's actually right next to Don's. So we went to Don's afterwards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, had
Might
to.
as well go, you know.
Yeah. But, you know, dude, I had the same. I got to bring this up because, you know, like whenever you came out for my birthday, I've realized that I cannot do shit on Friday nights. Like,
Yeah.
we have dinner. I had lobster ravioli. We had fucking dessert. I'm full of shit, and we wanted to have a nightcap. We go to Don's. I'm halfway into my drink, and I'm just going,
Yeah,
it sucks, man. I mean, I wake up at 4:30. I just can't do it on Friday nights anymore.
It's
man.
tough, man. It sucks getting up early to go to work.
I feel
And
so
then-
old.
Yeah, everybody's like, let's go out on Friday or Saturday night. And you're like, shit, what time?
Yeah.
After 9?
Oh, that's past my bedtime.
I'm normally asleep on the couch by then.
Oh, I really sympathize with my dad a lot more. I used to give him so much shit.
Like, you don't even do anything at night. He's like, yeah, get up and go to work all fucking day.
You got to get a good sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
On Saturday, she surprised me with an epic fucking day, though, man. We went and got a couples massage
Oh, nice.
right next to Ball Arena, too, because it was like super tempting. Like, damn, I just want to hang out here till Sunday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was really cool. They bring you champagne and everything. And then after that, we went to the Capitol Grill. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, that's the one over there. I think that's where I went to watch the Nuggets 2009 losing the finals to Kobe.
This is a really fancy restaurant.
Is it?
Yeah, like the waiters wear suits.
Okay, this definitely wasn't it then. No, there was no people in suits there.
Yeah, I
No,
felt really
it's
out
called,
of place.
Maybe it's like the cap. I can't remember now. Either way, it's something capital.
Yeah.
But definitely
there's
not
another
that
on
one, I
Capitol.
guess.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude. I had a really expensive steak, and I just still every day think about it.
Was it like dry aged for
No,
90
she got
days?
the dry. I think it was 60 days. She got the dry aged New York strip, and I got the bone-in ribeye. And I'm telling you, dude, I will be thinking about this steak forever. Maybe.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, the dry aged stuff's good, although sometimes it can get a little freaky.
Yeah, I don't.
Especially
you don't
like
need
I
anything.
went and bought it and like cooked it myself once. It was
Yeah.
like a 75-day dry aged steak.
How was it?
It was good, but like looking at it when I was getting ready to cook it, I was like, this doesn't look the most appetizing.
Yeah, probably looked like beef jerky, huh?
It does kind of look
Yeah.
like beef jerky-esque, but I mean, it was like the most tender thing I've ever eaten.
That's what they say.
I bought like 4. Were they? I think they were New York strips, and I got 4 that were like an inch thick, and it was $135.
Holy cow! Damn.
It was one of those things where I was like, I'm like looking at the price per pound and like clearly did not do the math right in my head. And plus you don't really know. I mean, you're like, okay, so like 1 pound's like $30. So 4, I was like, maybe they won't all be a pound, and then they definitely all were. And then I spent like $130. But it was really good.
One.
Yeah, carry the
that's-
one. Make sure to do everything in the parentheses first.
That is what you call a treat yourself.
Yeah, that's nice,
You know,
though.
that's when it's worth
Yeah,
it, man. It's like you
for
get
sure.
the $135, and you know you're gonna get a good dinner.
Yeah, you hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be pretty pissed off.
There's a lot of pressure cooking
Yeah.
those steaks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd be shitting my pants every night. It's not like Tokyo Joe's grilling them little dog jerky chunks of steak we had to grill.
Oh my god, that was a nasty ass steak that we had to. That was awful.
I did like it when I grilled it myself, though.
Oh yeah,
Just,
like all
like,
of the
seared it.
stuff in the sushi that I made myself was way better than what was on the menu.
Oh yeah, except for I still do love Joe's rolls.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
I'll still fuck with that.
You know what? Yeah, let me bring this up because on Friday night I had shrimp it was lobster ravioli with shrimp.
Shrimp ravioli.
Yep, and then I started to realize like a lot of my favorite meals have shrimp in it. So I came to the conclusion, like if you did, you see those like memes or those pictures on the internet that's like one has to go, and there's like 4 options.
Like fuck one, marry one, kill one.
Yeah, maybe kind of something similar to that. So if I gave you beef, chicken, let's say not even just shrimp, but like seafood, or now I'm forgetting the other 4th one. I totally I fucked this up whenever it was on the 4th one. Seafood, chicken, steak. What's the other meat?
I mean, you can do lamb, pork.
Pork. Thank
Okay,
you.
pork,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's do pork.
Okay.
I fucking had a brain fart.
It's
So
okay.
pork, chicken, steak, like seafood. One has to go. What are you taking?
If one has to go,
One has
pork can go.
Really?
Well,
What?
Well, okay, hold on.
Carnitas.
Yeah,
barbacoa.
hold on. But I like chicken better. Like
That's
on a whole, like, cause see, I'm not a big fan of pork chops. Like it's suck
Pork
not
chops
having
are
bacon.
for poor people, dude.
Well, not always. There's some pretty good fucking pork chops, but
Yeah, there can be.
they're not. Usually, they're always dry. But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, it would suck not having bacon and like pork
See,
belly and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, pulled pork. Yeah, think about that.
you could do that
but
same
steak,
stuff with chicken, though.
you gotta
for
have
the most
steak.
part. Yeah, steak's staying for sure, and seafood. So really, the toss up is it chicken or pork?
It's got to be
And
chicken.
you're going
man.
chicken?
That's what I choose is chicken because I realize that like I love shrimp so much. Like when I get chili rellenos, it's my favorite Mexican
Yeah.
meal. I always add shrimp. It's supposed to be something that's just like cheese, pepper, and flour. It's normally doesn't come with shrimp, but I gotta have shrimp. I love shrimp.
Have you ever gotten one of those crazy, like go like to a Mexican restaurant and get one of their crazy like seafood cocktails that has like literally every fucking seafood in it?
What, like is a shrimp cocktail kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah. Like I
It comes with
didn't know
everything.
what I was ordering. Again, it sounded all good, but then when I like got it, I was like, oh damn, there's a lot of shit in here. Like there was like an oyster in there, and then
Oh,
there's like
shit.
scallops, and then like all kinds of shit in there. And I was like, I kind of wish I just got a regular ass shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the way to go. Because,
But yeah, here's what I think though, dude. Fried chicken.
oh, see that is what's tough. we're having chicken tacos tonight too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So chicken and pork, that right there is the old nut cutter, as they say.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The
nut cutter.
Yeah, what are you going to do, man?
Yeah, it's a fun way to try to figure it out. So if you guys out there, let us know what would have to go out of those 4.
Yeah, out of those 4, what would it be? Because Andrew hates seafood, so Andrew right away seafood.
See, my mom's the same way. She doesn't really eat any seafood, so that would be an easy one for
We were actually talking about that last night at practice.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
we were talking
weird.
about how Andrew hates seafood. I don't know how we got on that.
Because, I mean, with seafood, you couldn't just, like, put shrimp in there because it's better when it's, like, all seafood because, like, crab legs, lobster. I had lobster ravioli, man. It was so fucking good.
You know what I haven't had in a long time is a good old, just a big old fucking lobster tail with some butter and shit. And
yep. I love
good.
lobster tail, man. It's just seafood in general. A lot of people can talk shit on having seafood out here in the middle of the country, basically.
Yeah, it's
Colorado,
tough.
You know what?
There are a few places downtown that ship in seafood on the daily. Yeah, I guess if I was going to have a treat yourself and, like, really go all out, I would like to go to an expensive-ass seafood restaurant and just get, like, a $90 lobster tail and some other crazy shit. You
that's
know?
the way to go.
Just
What would
like
you rather do? That?
Big old fucking lobster tail?
Or, like, crawling crab out there in Lakewood where they just, like...
Oh, or like a boil?
You got...
or
something like that where you got to put a bib on,
yeah,
you're going to get messy. That's what I like to do.
See, I haven't actually had a real crawfish broil before.
See, I don't really fuck with crawfish. I know if I tried it, I'd
I
probably
think it'd be
it.
good.
My little
It's like
nephew,
they're just
Bennett,
like mud shrimp, basically.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, they are, and that's why like they're a whole Louisiana kind of thing. Like,
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude, my little nephew Bennett, that is his shit. Every year for his birthday,
You gotta suck the heads.
oh man, he eats them like nobody. It's like he's from Louisiana. It's cool. But yeah,
that's cool.
So it was a good weekend, and let's cheers to that, man.
Yeah, let's cheers to
take
a
a
good
shot.
weekend. Let's cheers to another show in the books. And let's get this shit on the road. It's time
get
to
the
get
ball
into some
rolling,
sports.
Let's
Cheers
talk
to you
about some
guys.
sports ball. Cheers.
Ooh, Jack Daniels.
Not bad. Not bad.
You burn a little
a good way
bit,
to
but
kick
you
it off,
taste so good.
I love it. All right, let's get into it. The
All right.
NFL.
Who's gonna start it? Me or you?
I'll start it off.
All right, Chad's gonna start
I
it.
wanted
Take
to
us
bring
away.
this up because it's something that's got me a little worried, man. This guy is a consistent ass linebacker, damn good player. He had to go to the fucking Bills, man. Leonard Floyd signs with the Bills.
It's weird. It's only like 1 year, like $7 million or something, isn't it? It's kind of a lower.
Well, it's because he's
contract.
kind of getting towards the end of his career, like Bobby Wagner and shit like that. But he's been so consistent. I want to say it was like last year he had like 8 sacks, maybe something like that. I don't quote me on that, but it's like he's never. And I think he's played every game like the last 3 years. So it's a good pickup by the Bills. Von Miller's going to be back.
Yeah. And then they might be getting D-Hop possibly.
Could
I mean,
be.
do you want? We're talking about someone just getting signed. Do we want to get into the free agents that are left right now?
Yeah, we can get right into
Let's
that.
do it.
Yeah,
We're already talking about Leonard Floyd getting signed, so let's move on into it.
I wanted to bring up the top 5 free agents still available because we might see these guys moved any day going forward. Like you just said, the number 1 is DeAndre Hopkins. Got released by the Cardinals. So far, all we hear is the Bills and Chiefs are the top ones, but I've heard both teams. No, the Chiefs offered him $2 million, I think it was, because they have less than $1 million in cap space.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to make up cap space. I mean, you can turn that all into signing bonuses if you've got the cash flow to do that, or I mean, you can cut people.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think is weird that's going on with D-Hop is this like smear campaign that's going on.
I haven't heard about this.
I guess there was a few NFL execs that anonymously came out to say D-Hop doesn't have the separation speed anymore. He still has great hands, but he's not going to run away from anybody. And there's been multiple that have come out and said that about him.
That's pretty interesting. I wonder why they're trying to
kind of weird.
him.
I don't know. I think maybe I think he was. And they did come out and say, too, like, he doesn't like to practice.
Yeah. You can
he's
tell.
kind of like a curmudgeon at times.
Well,
and
he's been
like,
busted for PEDs like twice, right?
Yeah, he just got back from being suspended last year. Was his first year back.
So 6 games, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean.
That's why I don't want him, man, because we got
Yeah.
Richie James from the Giants, and I feel like he's a younger and better D-Hop. He doesn't have the credentials for that yet, but if you look at his play, it reminds you a lot of D-Hop. Maybe it's the dreads, too. But
Dude, are you talking about Kadarius Toney?
No, Richie
Another
James.
guy from the Giants you guys got?
Yeah, Richie James, dude. Look at him his highlights, man. He is a baller.
Weird.
Okay, the second best available, Yannick Ngakwe.
Yannick Ngakwe.
Is a fun name to say.
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Say it again.
Yannick
Ngakwe.
Ngakwe. And I think it's like Yainnick. Yannick.
Yeah, something like that. I got it written down, but it's probably wrong.
It's okay.
Yeah, he was on the Colts, veteran there. I mean, it's probably 10 years plus, I'd say he's been in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, been in there a while, but yeah, he'd be a good pickup. The Chiefs are kind of linked to him, so we'll see. Jadeveon Clowney from the Browns. He's still out there.
Yeah, that's not that surprising. I feel like his stint in Cleveland didn't go well. Also feel like kind of the same thing with D-Hop's, had a little bit of behind-the-scenes issues within the organization in terms of playing time and how he was used. And
he's fallen off a lot.
also very injury-prone.
Yeah. It was Seattle that he was really at the height of his career, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or was it? Or was it the Texans?
Oh, it was the Texans.
It wasn't Seattle.
Yep, it was. Yeah, I don't know why I said
Texans.
Seattle.
For a second, though, I was like, did he play on the Texans, though, at some point? Because I can't even remember. Did he really?
Yeah.
It hadn't only been for a little while, though, because he was drafted by Houston.
Yep.
So, all right.
And then there's your boy, used to be, Dalton Risner.
Dalton Risner.
Yeah.
They were talking about this on the Fan the other day, and they're saying they wouldn't be surprised if he ends up firing his agent over this one because he severely misjudged the market on interior linemen.
Yeah.
I think they were thinking they were going to be getting like 12 to 14 million area, and he'll be lucky to get 7. At this rate.
I think a lot of the problem is from what I've heard, a lot of the agents out there thought the salary cap would bump up to like 235. I think it's at 225, right?
I can't remember what it bumped up to this year. I think you're right. It's in the mid 220s.
And so a lot of teams, they're strapped for cash. They don't really have that space. $10 million.
Unless you're the Broncos. Got all that money.
Yeah, seriously. A lot of money tied up in Russ, though.
We'll pay you $30 million to sign, and you get $1 million for the year. What's up?
We should bring up Russ losing all that weight, man. He does look a lot different.
Dude, it's Russell 2.0, 20 pounds down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let Russ cook a vegetarian meal.
Yes, exactly. Those family style meals where he's having everybody over, I think have calmed down a little bit.
Oh, I bet so, man.
2 chefs that he has on payroll, I think, are probably cooking a little light for him now.
Maybe like some low carb stuff. Or
low
something.
carb.
When they showed that side by side, I guess I didn't realize like how chunky you got.
Yeah, you didn't. I didn't realize it either, man. But you see it, and it's like, whoa, he looks like a different fucking person.
Yeah, he does.
And which I don't get why he gained all that weight. I mean, he said it was because you're going to be in the pocket. So, well, he never actually said this, but this is what people are assuming. He wanted to become a drop back passer and live in the pocket. And I guess the thinking is that you need to be bulkier to take the, linemen falling on you and shit like that. But why
you don't
change?
Need extra weight on
you can't just go like 180 and just be like, nah, I'm not gonna do what I did before. I'm gonna get a little chunky and I'm just gonna sit back here and drop dimes.
Dude, I think a lot of it's
gonna happen, dude.
Is the money. You get the money. It's like, let's go to this nice restaurant. Let's go to Capitol Grill.
I think he came into training camp that way. I mean, it wasn't until the end of the year that he finally started to get into playing shape. It felt like where he was actually running a little bit more, getting out in the pocket, doing the fucking.
He had a lot of success scrambling against us when we went to go watch him.
Yeah, that was about all that kept me interested in that game. Slowly coming back and me yelling in your face about it. But
and that 3 interceptions on the home.
Three.
That was awful.
Yeah, I just kept yelling that all night long.
Well, the 5th best free agent, like how I just shifted. I was like, I don't want to hear about that anymore. Change the subject.
That was a fun game. Even though
that was wild, man.
This is fun.
That's what I'm saying. The primetime games are the best, man. It's like all.
Yeah, we don't get to go too many of those because the Broncos suck so much.
Yeah,
but
I think we're gonna get some this year.
We might get one.
No, we did. I think there's a Monday night. Yeah, Monday night, but it's in Kansas City.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It is in Kansas City.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be Sunday.
Let's fly out, dude.
Fuck it.
Let's hit up Uncle Jacob.
Speaking of which, I drove by. What the fuck's it called now? Shit.
Not Sports Authority.
It's not Sports Authority.
I know. I can't even think.
Damn it.
Is it Invesco?
It's not Invesco.
Jesus Christ.
It's Mile High. I drove by Mile High today, and I saw the fucking screen that they built. Have you seen that shit?
I haven't actually.
Dude.
Huge?
It's monstrous.
Wow.
It's like 3 probably 4 or 5 stories tall.
God
it's
damn.
huge. I feel like they had to lose seating to put it in.
Maybe. I don't know. It's in the south
It's
stands,
nuts.
right?
It's in the south stands. It's fucking huge. It is like the entire south stands, just a fucking screen,
like
now.
a huge wall.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Nice. That's cool.
So that's pretty cool, and that'll be what we'll be able to look right at that. So,
well, maybe it'll block out some of that sun, because that's what they're notorious for, man. Is if you catch an afternoon game where most of the games are all of the games are afternoon games.
Yeah.
There, it's fucking rough, man. Like it's a part of the elements in the Broncos Stadium. It really is.
yeah, the sun beats down on you from above, and then the worst thing was when you're in the stands, and we for the last few years have been on the east side of the stadium. So like as soon as that sun starts setting, it's just like at one point just in your face, just blasting.
Well, I don't even mean it for a fan. I mean like for the players,
Yeah.
for like trying to, as a wide receiver, find the ball in that. If you're facing the other direction,
It's not nearly as bad as Cowboys Stadium, where they have all those windows where the sun just blasts in.
It's such a stupid. A punter literally kicks the ball and hits the scoreboard.
Yeah.
They didn't even think of
Put
that
a bigger
shit,
one
man.
in. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Jerry's like, make it bigger. Jerry.
Shit.
Goddamn Jerry. You
Good
know,
old Jerry.
all I think of is Rick and Morty. God, fuck you, Jerry.
God damn it, Jerry.
Yeah. Okay, the fifth best. This isn't even a big deal because this guy's a douchebag. Fifth best available free agent still out there, Marcus Peters. Not even the Ravens want him.
Well, what about Zeke, man?
Yeah, I don't
Zeke's still
know
out
where
there.
he's at on this list I had, but I mean
He's not on the top
well,
5.
actually, dude, it's funny. It was just yesterday. I think I saw this article where he had put out this home video of him working out,
Oh, I saw it where he's like cutting and running and
running
stuff.
around cones, and everybody was laughing at it. Like, dude, you look slow as shit. What are you talking about? It's like that. You should not have put that out.
Yeah, he's coming back, dude. Stronger than ever.
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps it up for the free agents that are left.
Yep.
The top 5, anyways.
Two other news for the NFL. We should roll through these. Just the Bills have broke ground on their new stadium.
Yeah, $1.54 billion stadium. They're saying it will be open by the 26th season.
I didn't realize Roger Goodell grew up in Western New York, and it seems like he's a Bills fan, so he's pretty excited about it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard about that
Son
today.
of a bitch.
Yeah, fucking Raj. You know the calls are going to be going towards the
Yeah,
Bills.
yeah. Another thing that happened, Isaiah Rodgers, Colts cornerback and kick returner, is under investigation for sports betting. It looks like he had a sports book under his name where over 100 bets were placed at an undisclosed amount of time in terms of like when it happened. But yeah, some were on Colts games, and that's the big thing that they really don't want you doing is gambling on
Can't
your
bet
own
on
team
your own
games.
team.
But then, yeah, most of them I think were like $10 to $50 bets, but there were a few that were in like the $1,000 range. So he's fucked. He
Yep.
says he takes full responsibility for his actions and doesn't want to be a distraction for the team. Something good just happened for Chad over there. He's betting. He's addicted. I'm going to get him the number, the 1-800 number for Colorado. He's got a problem.
Now when you're good at it,
Yeah.
and you got a shitty Royals
Yes,
team
I
that
don't
you
have
can
a
bet
problem
against
when I'm
every
winning.
day.
It's only when I've lost all my money that I have a problem.
I feel like a horrible fan that I bet against the Royals nearly every game, but they're 18 and 42.
That's smart betting.
It is.
It's just like betting against the Rockies.
Right.
Both of our teams suck.
Hey, they're not bad.
Yeah, one thing, though, that I did want to bring up about this whole gambling thing, I guess there was an anonymous poll that was given out to some players. Obviously, none of them gave their
This
names.
is pretty interesting.
But they said that none of them knew that you weren't allowed to bet on sports inside the team facility.
Yeah.
I think they knew that you aren't supposed to be betting, obviously, on your own team. But there's supposedly a lot of guys reaching out to their agents now wondering, am I going to get suspended soon?
Yeah.
Because I definitely fucked up. So
It's pretty nuts, man. Now
we'll see
maybe
what happens.
the rules weren't
Most
clear.
of these guys have been, I mean, I think Jamison Williams was like the most marquee player aside from Calvin
Really?
Calvin Ridley, yeah. Aside from Calvin Ridley, Calvin Ridley obviously was one of the bigger players to get suspended. But most of these guys do seem to be like those lower tier guys. But wait till it's like, you know, Deshaun Watson or something
That would
like
be
that,
crazy,
you know,
dude.
or just like a
Yeah.
QB like Jared Goff or something like that. Just somebody who like I didn't even fucking think about it, dude. I was sitting there. in my locker, just hanging out, and just
saw the
placed the
spread,
bet.
and
Yeah,
I was like,
jumped on it right away.
They had
and
a
then,
promo on there or something.
Yeah, it turns out when I was practicing, a points bet thing went around the stadium.
Yeah, it's like, shit,
A
dude.
points bet ad popped up, and I was like, shit, I got to bet the under for the odds change.
I think it's only a matter of time, and we saw Calvin really take that big hit, and they made an example out of him, so I'm sure it's going to happen to somebody else. But
Yeah, well, and the thing is, too, I mean, with the NFL just leaning so heavily into sports betting, where everything is, points bet, DraftKings, FanDuel, like every team's like teamed up with sports betting. It was a matter of time before this started just becoming an issue.
Yeah.
And this is why they didn't want teams in Vegas. And it's not even happening in Vegas that we know of yet. I'm sure there have been multiple Vegas players who will soon be suspended because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's the Raiders.
I mean, I would too
The
if I was there.
Raiders.
Shit, it's fun, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
on that-
if I was them, like I said, I got to say this because that's what we always bring up is it's the one thing you can't do, or you give money to a friend.
That's what we were saying, dude. Like, I brought this up before, but Chris Carter said you got to have a fall guy.
Yep.
You have that guy placing the bets for you. How fucking hard is that? They can't trace. They're not going to trace the money.
DraftKings is in his name and everything. You just Venmo the money.
You get
to him.
10% just for fucking doing
You can
it,
put
dude.
the Venmo thing as like groceries, whatever.
Well, it goes to him and he gives you cash. That's the best way to do it.
It's not fucking hard. It's so stupid, man.
So yeah, NFL players continually find ways to ruin their own fucking careers. So it's mind blowing.
Right.
I do have one more thing that I did want to mention, and this is a little bit different because it is a Chiefs topic, and I'm going to mention it.
Bring this up.
The matriarch to the Chiefs, Norma Hunt, passes away at the age of 85. She is one of the only people, especially women, to have attended all 57 Super Bowls since the inception of the Super Bowl, which her husband helped create the name of the Super Bowl.
Sure
so
did.
you got that. At least the Chiefs got something good going for them, right, Chad?
At least one. Yeah, maybe after visiting the White House yesterday.
Yeah. Travis Kelce got shut down by Mahomes. He's like, don't even fucking say a word.
That was the best, man. I laughed out loud.
Yeah, because he would have made an ass out of himself.
Everybody was like, what was he going to say? And I bet it was just
stupid.
Like, you got to fight for your right.
To party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm glad Mahomes caught him. It's like
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah, just don't do
it's
that.
the White House, dude.
Yeah.
It's not the fucking parade float. We're not on top of a fucking double-decker bus.
Yeah.
Just shut it
Not
down,
the place.
man.
Not the place. Looking forward to hearing about it on New York.
On that, well, moving on to the next thing, I did realize this last episode, and I mentioned it to you. I say on that note a lot, and I just caught myself saying it. So it's coming in. I'm trying to say it a little bit less, but moving on to the next thing in headlines, it's golf.
It is. Big news today.
Shit has hit the fan. PGA players are up in arms over the fact that most of them found out the same time that we did today, about 9 o'clock, that the PGA Tour and Live Golf have partnered, and they are going to absorb each other and the DP League, which is, I think, the European Golf League, or Golf Tour. They're all combining now into one, and something that PGA said they never do has now happened, and here we are. How does this all unfold?
It's going to be crazy because the other thing they said, too, is we'll never take those players back that joined Live. Well, they're going to. How would you feel if you're Roy McIlroy and you're the good boy, the loyal boy that's like, no, I'm not going. You don't take a $200 million contract, and then those guys get to
Here's
come back.
one thing I want to bring up, and hear me out on this.
All right.
I've been a big Rory backer. I liked his stance on it. He's like, fuck these people, sticking to his guns, so to speak. But here's the thing that I want to ask you. He hasn't been playing well.
No.
And he brought up in an interview that there's not enough off time. There's no real off season.
That's so true.
They're constantly playing all the time. And you can't, once your swing's fucked, you don't really get a chance to sit there and reset once the PGA Tour is going.
Yeah.
I think, and this is a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
If I had the tinfoil hat, which we need to make, maybe I'll do that this week. I'll make the tinfoil hat.
I think we should.
I would be putting it on right now, and I'm going to say this. I think Liv had a bunch of guys ready to jump ship. I think Rory was at the top of the list. I think Rory had an offer close, not quite to what Tiger Woods had, but I'm talking $500 million for Rory.
I don't even feel like that's more of a conspiracy. I feel like that's a hot take.
And I want to get a cool hot take thing, dude.
We just get a sizzling pan.
No, dude, this is crazy. I was already thinking about it. We might have some upgrades coming soon, which would free us up to do a lot of cool shit. And I was thinking, dude, it'd be cool to have like a hot takes thing, like a button we could push for the hot take sizzle, or maybe like a beer guy at a baseball game walking around like, hot take, get your hot take here.
Something like that. That would work.
Yeah.
That's what that is, man, because I don't feel like it's so much more a conspiracy, because I do see where you're coming from, because there is like
those comments made me
there.
feel like there's changes that need to be made.
Yeah.
And someone else brought up Live Golf to him, and he kind of poo-pooed, hush-hushed about it, didn't say too much.
Yeah.
I think he was ready to go, and I think they just offered him enough money that he's just like, I can't turn down $500 million fucking dollars.
He brings up a great point.
Yeah.
And talk about, like,
dude,
the
these
time.
guys can't wear shorts. Did you know that's a rule?
I mean, it makes sense. But
They can't wear shorts.
That's so dumb, man. It's like,
who gives a fuck what you wear?
Yeah.
If John Daly could, he probably would have wore a Speedo.
Yeah, probably.
With a fucking American flag and an eagle over his pecker.
And it probably would be like a Hooters printed one, too, man.
It would definitely be Hooters brand.
Yeah, no
Hooters
doubt.
would be on his ass.
He gets his sponsors. He's good at that. Dude, you know what I saw? I was at the gas station a couple days ago. He has his own Kratom brand. Did you know this?
No.
I saw his face, and I was like, what the fuck is this? He has his own branded Kratom supplements.
I thought they outlawed that shit now.
No, that...
I
yeah,
thought head shops couldn't sell it anymore. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was at a gas station.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If head shops can't sell it, then gas stations
I'm pretty
can't
sure
sell
they can still sell it. Yeah, maybe I don't know, but yeah, Kratom is basically like it's a alternate for pain relief. Basically, it's a natural.
It's
supplement.
like a synthetic
It's an
opiate, isn't it? Or something, or it's a natural
no, it's not
herb?
a synthetic. It's an herb that grows, I believe, in India or Indonesia.
It's like an opiate derivative. A lot of people use it to kick.
It was good.
Opiate addiction.
Yeah,
it's like
you feel relaxed instead of people getting addicted to opiates. It's a great way. Alternate.
Do you eat it or do you snort it?
It's a pill. You could take capsules of it and stuff. But yeah, so John Daly getting behind that, I was like, that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, look at him go.
He's the best.
He's also got his own cigars. He's got his own drink that we've been trying to track down. We can't find it anywhere,
man.
So we might have to order it. We might just have to reach out to him and ask for a case and see if he can send us one.
Well, he needs to respond to my first message first.
Hey, he liked us. He liked one of our things once.
That is true.
We're
That's
close.
fucking awesome.
We're close. But yeah, I think.
I mean, it's big news. So all I heard today was the only details on this is that a lot of the financial backers for this, for the PGA players to get paid more money, which was the big hurdle in the whole thing, was LIV, basically the Saudi bankers, the Saudi guys are the ones that's going to be providing the dough for this.
Yeah, and there's something that they've labeled the investors as. It's like the PFI or the PFL or PIF, like something investment.
I don't know. You're just throwing out an acronym.
No, it's something like fuck, I can't remember. I heard it earlier. It's like investment something.
Yeah.
And that's where all this money's coming from. And I think the PGA seriously thought that they could just outlast the Saudi money, and they forgot that the Saudis just print money like it's going out of style.
It's nuts.
They just drill it right out of the ground, and they're like, I have $1 billion
right here.
But yeah, it's just they thought they could beat him at this like litigation thing, and it's just not going to happen. And now they've joined forces with him after the fact that the head of PGA has come out and made an ass out of himself, basically denouncing anybody that left, calling them cowards, calling him all this, and now that guy's going to be the CEO of this umbrella thing.
Yep.
And then the head of that investment group is going to be like the general manager. And here we are, this guy who denounced everybody for taking this money probably is taking more money than any golfer got.
Right.
And now he's the CEO of the company. So it just makes the PGA Tour look like a fucking joke right now. And the crazy thing is that the Saudi family basically just bought the sport of golf.
They really did.
That's what's so wild about this. This has never happened before. We're never probably going to see a situation like this again, where a whole entity can basically purchase not just a team, but a whole an entire league, basically.
not
It's
just
insane.
a team.
It's
the
it's
whole
the whole
thing.
fucking thing.
Yeah, and only that, it's like they have the money for it. It's just chunk change to them. Because golf isn't a poor man's sport, so they see the money into it. And that leads me to my next topic over here, which is a big rising story in the ladies PGA, LPGA.
Mm-hmm.
Rose Zhang, just a week after winning the NCAA championships, wins her pro debut. And she is, 21, 22 or something like that?
Yeah, she's definitely super young.
Yeah, I think she spent 2 years at Stanford, just like Tiger Woods. But I believe when Tiger Woods made his pro debut, he finished 75th, and Rose finishes first last weekend. Yeah, and she won. This is going to get me to my point of the whole money thing. Won $412,000.
And that is the LPGA, and don't get me wrong, there is obviously a giant money discrepancy there to the actual PGA. I mean, you win $400,000 for finishing in like 18th in the PGA. So.
It's a good chunk.
But don't get me wrong, it's the money's there. The Saudis are going to get their money back, and it's cool to see that Rose Zhang could come out like that. Rose Zhang,
she's a phenom.
Yeah, she's she's going to be like the Tiger Woods of the LPGA, and it's just also funny she's kind of following in his footsteps as well.
Right, at Stanford. I mean, it's crazy because we thought Michelle Wie would kind of do this, and she had a decent career, but I mean, we're seeing, it's just her consistency in the NCAA, and then to come in and make a splash like this in a pro debut. Pretty interesting. So we'll be keeping you guys up to date on her progress. She's skipping next week's LPGA event, but she's already winning that last event automatically got her into the tour, I guess.
Yeah, you get your card at that point for
Yeah.
winning, and I think you don't have to worry about losing it for like the rest of the year.
You're right.
But yeah, that's super cool. We will definitely keep you guys updated on that because we like to cover all things in all aspects and all areas of sports.
All things sports.
But let's move into the MLB, and then we're going to talk about the NHL as well. We have one thing in the NHL. The NBA, we've just got like one little thing to touch on. We can actually just hit that right now. Joe Mazzulla is being kept in Boston. That's the only thing I have in the NBA. So the Celtics retain head coach Joe Mazzulla. He has started filling out his own staff this year since he took over for Ime Udoka in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and a lot of Ime's staff went with him to Houston, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's had to hire his own staff now. So that's all we have for the NBA. The rest will be in the fast break. Let's get into MLB. Chad, what do you got?
I got Jacob deGrom tearing his UCL, and he's a 2-time Cy Young winner. He signed a deal in the offseason for the Rangers. 5 years, $185 million.
Yeah, that baseball money is real money, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's a bummer for him. There was another thing that happened to both guys. I think came out around the same time. Maybe DeGrom's a little bit later, but Steven Strasburg's career sounds like it is over. He has severe nerve damage in his neck and in his arm. Hasn't pitched more than 33 1/3 innings since the 2019 World Series, where he won the World Series MVP. He had surgery in 2020 to fix carpal tunnel in his throwing hand because they thought that was the source of the nerve damage. And then he ended up in 2021 having surgery for a thoracic outlet syndrome, which involved removing one of his ribs and 2 muscles in his neck to hopefully get rid of some of the nerve damage that he's been dealing with.
That's some Frankenstein stuff.
And then you were listening to PTI when I got here, and they were talking about it. He hasn't even been able to rehab. He's basically shut down everything. He hasn't even been working out his lower body. He's basically like, I can't do anything. I guess he did try to get in a couple starts in the preseason, and he couldn't even get going. Like, once he started, he had to shut down. He got to throwing. I think he just did bullpens. I don't even think he actually pitched in the game. And he just is like, I can't. His right side's basically like going numb, and they don't know why. So it's super crazy, and it sucks when shit like that happens.
It is a shame. He was 2-0 and had a 2.86 ERA. So far this year, not a whole lot.
Oh, you're talking about Jacob deGrom.
Just
Sorry.
going back to deGrom.
I digressed on that a little bit.
No, you're good. I just wanted to recap that. And, yeah, it sucks because I'll get into it here in a second with the standings, but the Rangers were second in the American League. And I'm sure with an ace out of the lineup like that, it's definitely going to hurt them.
Yeah, you're really going to have to hope that one of your rotational guys can step up, or you've got somebody in the
maybe you can call up.
Yeah, you can call up and hopefully, in the farm system that can bring you a little bit of a spark there. So that's a bummer for them.
Speaking of that, let's get to the standings. And in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays continue their onslaught on the rest of the league, sitting at 43-19. Yeah,
that's pretty wild. And we've talked about them a little bit before. They are one of the lower teams in terms of the pay scale, and yet they're dominating everybody. So
playing the money ball right.
Yeah, money ball works.
Yep. And then, like I said, the Rangers are second in the American League at 39-20. Then Baltimore Orioles, 37-22. And then in the National League, such a surprise, man. Still hanging in there. National League, Atlanta Braves retook first place, 35-24. Then the Diamondbacks passed the Dodgers, or pretty much tied for them, at 35-25, and then the Dodgers 35-25 as well. So close race there at the top.
Yeah, definitely. We did want to talk about Aaron Judge a little bit because Chad said he was injured on this play, which I did not know, but he continued his dominance both at the plate and with incredible plays in the outfield as he saved he just caught a ball on the fly and ended up running through a fence basically.
He's been making some amazing plays in the American League. He hurt his toes on that though because he ran through the bullpen gate basically. And it's kind of one of those things I wanted to bring up to you. It's like, with a player like that, should you just keep him as the DH or should you let him play in the outfield? Because he's making a lot of good plays out there.
Yeah, I mean, that is that thing you ended up running into where it's like, is this guy more valuable as a hitter or should we leave him out in the field?
Yeah.
I think with a guy like that, he's still young enough. You can get away with that for a little bit longer before, you want to just move him to a full-time DH. But we'll see what happens. You know? It's tough to say.
It is tough to say.
Everything is up in the air with that stuff,
Yep.
We'll just see how much they want to put into the investment, Is the juice worth the squeeze, so to speak?
His little toes.
Little toesies.
Don't want those hurt.
Those baseball players, man, sometimes those injuries, I'm just like, I think you could play through that.
I think so. They're like 162 games. Let's just take this game.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's move into the NHL real quick, and then we're going to hit the music break.
All right.
The one thing I have in the NHL, Montreal Canadiens signed 22-year-old winger Cole Caulfield to an 8-year, $62.8 million deal. He will make $7.85 million through the 30-31 season, which is weird that we're getting out that far. We're in the 30s.
That's a long time.
It's the second richest contract in team history behind Captain Nick Suzuki's contract. He's just short of Nick Suzuki by $200,000. So they believe in this kid, and he should be a pretty prominent figure on their lineup for quite some time. So
I bet so. Yeah.
Well, hopefully through into the 30s. So
that's
there we are.
Time.
Did you have anything for the NHL?
Yeah, just one thing that the NHL said they came out and the NHL came out and said they are committed to keeping the Coyotes in Arizona.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They got to figure something out because they're playing in a 7,000 seat fucking college arena.
I think it's even less than
that. I think it's 7. I think they did some updates to it. They had to. I know they had to add to the locker room and shit to make it NHL ready, but it's not that much. NHL is already one of the lower sports in terms of what they can bring in, and to have a team that, is basically taking half the revenue at a college arena is just insane. So
yeah, it's insane.
They've got to figure it out soon. It's either they stay there or they move. Yeah. So, and it sounds like Salt Lake might be a legitimate place for them to move, which is right next door.
Yeah,
wouldn't be that far of a journey. So
that would work out.
Utah Coyotes.
I can see the Mormons getting behind that.
Yeah, the Mormons love it.
Yep.
On that note, I said it. That's only one time so far this episode, but on that note, we are going to get into the music break. As we said last episode, the music break guest this month is Horse Bitch.
Horse Bitch.
And the name of this song, as is the rest of the songs off of this album, all start with a song about and then fill in the blank for the other songs. This song is a song about a three-legged dog, I think, who also has one eye, if I'm not mistaken, as part of the title.
Yep.
So you are going to you are going to hear Horse Bitch, a song about a three-legged dog, coming at you right now. Stick around. We will be right back. Thank you, guys.
We were gonna go to Iceland and raise sheep. I'd be a shepherd. We'd learn to dye wool and knit Icelandic sweaters. Make our kid read Nietzsche and post it on Reddit just to fuck the poor kid up. But Rico Jones fucked my wife. I'm gonna go fly a kite. I was gonna have a life. I was supposed to have a life. But Rico Jones fucked my wife. Wow! I was the only one in your apartment. Now I'm sitting on your couch thinking about making sweaters for penguins, wondering if your dog liked him the way that she likes me. But Rico Jones fucked my wife. I'm gonna go fly a kite. I was gonna have a life. I was supposed to have a life. But Rico Jones fucked my wife. Woo! Oh! This sucks. I hate this.
We are back. You just heard Horse Bitch, a song about a three-legged dog. If you haven't yet, please go like and follow Horse Bitch. They're on Instagram. I don't think they have a Facebook. I tried looking for them. I couldn't find it. They are on Instagram. And you can also find them on Spotify. And if you're looking to go find out when they're playing next, or get merch, or check out and buy, like, you know, their music, go to horsebitch.bandcamp.com. There you can buy all their stuff. And on that note, we are back. That's
we are.
3 times now.
It looks like they just played at Larimer Lounge last Friday. I did mention that
it was
last
Saturday
week.
the 3rd.
Okay,
or no,
so,
you're right. It was Friday the 3rd.
And it looks like they had a hell of a turnout, man. They shared a bunch of stories from other people reposting it. And it looks like they got a good following, man. I don't blame him. I like their sound. They're fun.
Yeah, it is definitely fun. I dig the music. It's not the normal thing I would listen to, but I still like it.
The same here. I mean, sometimes you got to branch out, you know?
Yeah, you got to delve into different things, you
Take
know?
that olive branch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail this week, just handing you that.
It's like the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. Just touch God. There it is. Love it. All right.
Yeah.
You had some UFC news that we're going to segue into the UFC
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
this is kind of like a little bit of a parlay, if you will, to the headlines, because I did see this, and I remember when this happened because it was super gruesome when his leg broke.
I think I sent you multiple videos. I watched it live and was like, what?
Yeah, Chris Weidman is making his return to the UFC after a 3-year hiatus after snapping basically his entire lower leg in half.
It looked like he was one of those Stretch Armstrong guys.
Yeah.
And then you just push it and you see his leg just smush where it's not supposed to.
But yeah, that's all I really had. I'm
Whoa,
glad.
hold on. Pause.
Oh,
Fuck
shit,
it, we did
dude.
it again. God
we did
damn
it again.
Dude. John Daly would be disappointed in us.
It would be. It's like even worse than being mad. He would just be like, yeah, just disappointed.
Disappointed. When you go back to the clubhouse, there's only one thing to do.
You take a shot at the turn.
Got to keep it going. Fuck, that's spicy.
Last of that, Jack Daniels.
That is the last of that. Thank you for that whiskey.
Yes, thank you, Jack.
Oh, that's
we
spicy.
appreciate you. Okay.
Okay.
So that was all I had in terms of the UFC stuff.
That is cool, though. I'm excited to see him come back.
Yeah.
I don't see
It's
him
crazy
on the
it's been
card.
that
You say
long.
it's this
No,
weekend?
it's not this week. It's
Okay.
I think it's in July.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's next month, I
Dude,
think.
there's an amazing
Oh, yeah.
fight
Is it
card.
290?
I can't wait to,
290 is
Justin Gaethje, it's
insane.
for the BMF title.
And even he said that's stupid.
It was pretty cool. Well, I read the statement today. He said he used to think it's stupid, but he thinks that like the more and more the UFC puts behind it, it's more what he says is like
He's
the
like, if you're
money
a
behind
champion,
it.
you're a champion. You get paid like a champion.
Yeah.
So it's
It's-
another chance for somebody to get more money.
It's more of a financial thing, but
Right.
huge Gaethje fan, Colorado dude. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of that. But that's in July. UFC 289 this weekend. We got two main events, two fights that I want to cover. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. The favorite is Dariush at -150, and then Oliveira at +125, which is crazy because Oliveira is the number one contender. And this is a fight that, man, many diehard UFC or MMA fans are just licking their chops at. Because people don't know, obviously Charles Oliveira, I think has the most... No, I know he has the most submissions in UFC history, I think at 19. And then Dariush is also amazing on the ground. It's a very intriguing fight where you get two guys that if this goes to the ground, it's going to be a chess match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just look at their records to date. Oliveira's sitting at 33-9-0, and Dariush 22-4-1. So this should be a pretty damn good match. You always gotta love those, the ground guys, because it becomes such a chess match, even more so than I think the ones that end up standing and going toe to toe. The boxing aspect, is a little bit of a chess match, but I do feel like setting stuff up and the way you play the ground game really leads to some intense matches with guys that are both super influenced by the ground stuff.
Oh, it does, because you can't really give up any leeway where if you give a guy an arm or if you accidentally give a guy hit your back and, just in one small fraction of the wrong move, you're getting choked out.
Yeah.
Or you're getting your arm nearly broken. Like these guys are so good
or just broken.
with jiu-jitsu.
Just break it.
Yeah, and what's really intriguing about this is when I watch UFC Countdown, which I always recommend people to watch if you're into the UFC, coming up to a pay-per-view where they really go behind the scenes of these guys training. Dariush is trained by an old guy that used to, not old, but I'm saying he used to train at Shoot Box Academy, which is in Brazil. And that's where Charles Oliveira trains out of. A lot of amazing fighters came out of there. Diego Lima is a UFC legend that heads that gym now. But what's really intriguing, I can't remember the guy's name. I didn't have time to really go in depth on this. But the point of this is this guy broke away from shoot boxing and started his own gym in California, and that's who Dariush trains under. So it's kind of intriguing when you really get into like these diehards or these like behind the scenes, the where they train and stuff like that. It's nuts because a lot of the shoot box guys hate this guy because he didn't stick to the family.
I don't even know what shoot boxing is. Is that what? Explain that to me.
That's just the name of the gym.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were like talking. I was like, dude, he's talking about like some form
A
of martial
different
arts
style.
I've never heard of.
That's hilarious, man.
I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
You shoot when you're wrestling, and then maybe you're just boxing at the same time. You shoot and you jump high. I don't know.
No, I mean, Brazil's produced a lot. I'm really blanking right now, but there's a lot of other big stars that's come out of Shootbox and Shootbox Academy, and they really are notorious for not hyping up any of their guys that may have won, like Oliveira. They don't really use him as like a star. Sometimes like an ATT or AKA, if a guy wins the belt, he's the star of the gym.
He's on the big wall.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, in the shoot boxing, it's everybody's on the same level playing field. Everybody has to train
you're all
the same
just a
way.
fucking grunt.
And it's a good way
like
to do
the
it.
Marines. Yeah.
But man, this is a really hard fight. I hate this part of this segment where I got to try to pick a favorite. I really don't know. As far as the Vegas odds, like I said, Dariush is the favorite, but he's the better striker. Oliveira seems a little shaken up just after that last fight with Makhachev where he really didn't put up much of a fight at all. Dariush, man, I mean, he is a guy that everybody is looking at as he needs the next title shot against Makhachev.
Yeah, I would just with my uneducated guess, I'm gonna just go with Dariush because I like the way his name sounds.
He's cool. Yeah,
It sounds like douche.
yep. He's a
But
Syrian
Dariush,
guy.
you know what I mean?
Syrian. His parents were immigrants, so he's like a Syrian firstborn, and he's a guy that just really, to me, has eyes set on the title. He came out and said that he, would fight 10 fights to get to the title rather than a lot of those guys like Colby or something that's like, unless it's for the title, I'm not going to fight. But Beneil, man, he's a good guy where he's going to do what it takes to get that title shot. And I think he does come out on top. If this goes to the ground, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those memes? I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but it's like when I'm watching UFC alone, and then the bottom picture is like when somebody steps in from the other room to watch UFC with me, and it's always like when you're watching UFC alone, it's like the best fight ever. I mean, bloody, faces and stuff like that. And then it's like when somebody steps in, and that's always the way it is. Like when Hannah comes in and watches it, it's like it looks like these two guys are humping because it's like wrestling. Anybody can take a look at it. It's like, why are they on top of each other?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
His balls in his face. Like what the fuck?
Like if aliens came down and they knew like what homosexuality was. But they didn't know how it happened, and then you showed them wrestling, they'd be like, this is how they're
doing this.
Yeah,
they're doing this.
This is how they mate.
Yeah.
But
That's how it always goes, man. But
that was one thing. My dad was a big wrestler in high school, and I mean, he was really good, and he actually ended up coaching a guy who ended up becoming a famous WWE wrestler, Dr. Death.
I've never heard of him. That's pretty
cool. It was
cool.
in the 80s, early 90s.
Wow.
Guy ended up getting cancer and dying, but he was a really good high school wrestler, ended up being a collegiate wrestler.
You always got crazy stories about your dad. That's awesome.
My dad did a lot of weird stuff. But yeah, he was really good at wrestling, and it's like, the wrestlers are always like the biggest machismo dudes. Because if you've ever fucking wrestled, the shit they do to get ready is just like fucking torture.
Weight cutting,
it's like,
man.
go run up these stairs like 60 times, and then we're gonna go run around the whole building.
My brother
like,
was
what
a
the
wrestler,
fuck
man.
are we doing? Why do you hate me?
Yeah, and to make weight, my brother would eat a can of tuna and mustard. Just mix that together. I was like, dude,
that's
go eat that in the other room. Man.
Stinks.
Not only that would be like
smells like my
the
ex-girlfriend.
only thing that's nasty. Nice. Throwing shade, I love it. But you got to add that mustard. That's what made it really smell like.
Yeah, that makes it really adds to the effervescence of the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, how the fuck did we get on that?
No, just the toughness of wrestling.
Oh
shit,
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways,
how he did it.
to finish the story about my dad, my mom would always give him shit because it's like the super machismo sport. You're dominating another guy, but then at the same time, like, it looks like you're dominating a dude to penetrate him at the same time, too.
It can look pretty weird.
My mom would always be like, it just looks like you guys are rolling around hugging each other in singlets.
Yeah.
Not slinglets.
It can
it's
look
singlet.
like that for sure. But I mean, that's why it might look like this weekend with Oliveira and Dariush. But when it comes to jiu-jitsu, I think somebody's limb might get torqued around
a little
at the
bit,
right angle or choked out.
Well, let's move into the next fight, which I'll talk about just the beginning of, and that's the names of the people, which is Amanda Nunes and what's her name?
Irina Aldana.
I forgot. Yeah. I only know them by their last names.
Yeah.
I've realized. You don't really know them by their first name. So Irina Aldana, and Nunes is favored minus 330 in this one. So
quite a bit.
Heavy favorite.
She's the double champ.
Yeah, Aldana plus 260. And you're looking at both fighters haven't lost a fight, so that's the only probably good storyline of this fight is because it sounds like Nunes is about to feast on Aldana.
Oh, you know what? I learned my lesson from that shit, dude.
Yeah, this is what always happens in fighting.
Shevchenko, and we previewed that fight with Grasso, and I was like, and I thought about this when I was watching Countdown. I was like, I'm not going to do that again. And then I watched Countdown, and I'm like, oh, hell no, man. She may be a big underdog, but Aldana, she is much bigger, and it looks like her shoulders are just stronger than a lot of the other fighters that Nunes has gone against. I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk. And for one, I'd like just to finish that is like I learned my lesson through Alexa Grasso because of these Mexican fighters, and that's her teammate is Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you look at some of the statistics. I mean, Aldana's taller by an inch. She's got her by 3 pounds. The only advantage Nunez has so far is reach by a half an inch at 69. Other than that, I mean, they're pretty evenly matched. But yeah, I do think Nunez pulls this one out. There ain't no way she's losing 2 belts to this girl.
No, she wouldn't lose 2 belts. The thing of it, this is in, I think, bantamweight. I want to say.
Oh, so it's only the bantam.
Yeah, it's only at that weight class. Yeah, but the thing of it is like after Nunez lost to Pinier, and that's who this was actually supposed to be against, was Julia Pinier for the trilogy fight. But she took an injury. I think it was a rib injury. She had to pull out of it, so they pulled up Irina Aldana. And I'm glad I didn't forget. I just wanted to include this quote from Aldana in the press conference when they announced this fight. They asked Aldana, so she, Nunez has gone up against a lot of different fighters. What are you bringing to the octagon that's different than any other fighter?
And what's that?
She goes, I'm Mexican. Oh, dude. I was like, that's fucking rad. I'll take that, man, because that's just it.
Mexicans are fucking chingazos, you know what I mean?
We got Brandon Moreno. He's a Mexican-born fighter. Yair Rodriguez. Now Alexa Grasso. If she pulls off this amazing upset and beats Amanda Nunes, that'd make 4 Mexican-born UFC champions. And I'm not going to pick Aldana. I hope she does win, and it's crazy because normally
it's a better story.
Yeah, it is a good story, and it's a big upset, but Nunes is actually the one fighter where it's like champion that's reigned for so long that I don't really want to see her lose because I like her dominance. It's just so nuts. I like her story. She's got this daughter with her wife, and she's just got
they have another one on the way.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, they did show
wife's
that.
5 months pregnant.
Yeah, that is really cool. I wonder how that happened, man. I don't get it. Magic.
Divine intervention.
Immaculate conception for sure. But she is the lioness from
That is
Brazil.
what I was trying to think of. Mine sounded like I knew what I meant, but you were right. It's immaculate conception. Shit.
Either way,
I need to brush up on my religious things.
I do have Nunes picked. I think it goes to the decision. And I don't know, though, man. It's hard to say that because Aldana, she really embraces that Mexican spirit where they just let their hands fly.
Yeah, they're definitely brawlers all the way through. So,
and I don't know. I think Nunes might take her down, and I think she just ground and pounds.
Ground and pound.
Yep, I think that may be
GMP.
the case. Yep.
All right, man. Well, let's move into the meat of the show right now.
Let's get into it, man.
Which is the NBA Finals. We're here.
I didn't want to get into it, but we got to get into it.
We're a little bit down. The Nuggets are tied 1-1 in this series. It's a little bit of a somber.
Sunday night, we suffered a loss at home.
The first one in the playoffs.
Yep.
We're now 9-1 at home in the playoffs.
First time we lost since March, man.
Yeah, 27 days.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
but let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's just recap that game real quick, and then we'll preview the next one. So Sunday night, we fell to Miami. Murray missed a last-second shot to tie the game. It wasn't a bad shot. I honestly don't disagree.
Okay, I want to ask you this.
Okay, the timeout?
Timeout or no?
I think I like that he rolled with the transition. I think it was the right move. I don't like... The only argument to that is I think if you do hit it, to try to figure out when or if you foul or if you miss that shot or something, that's the right time to call that. But, Murray, we've seen these guys clutch in times, and that was a damn close 3. It almost went in.
Let me ask you another question. Should he have passed it to the open Jokic rather than taking the shot?
No, because I think Murray. Here's what I
because Jokic was wide
disagree
open.
with. Yeah, he was, but Murray comes down. He asks for the pick and roll where he already had Gabe Vincent on him. He had Jimmy Butler on him 35 times that night, and it was not going well. Jimmy Butler was guarding him really well. That coaching change that Spo made to put Butler on him, unfortunately, has been working. And he asked for the pick, and then Butler comes on to Murray, and then we see a kind of a tough shot made. Almost went in, but
I do feel like once Murray kind of clipped it off his own leg and had to stutter a little bit to regain the ball, they should have just called timeout.
I agree. I mean, it's
because it wasn't going to be a total like gather, pick and pop shot. Then like he was kind of recovering and then trying to come back and then pull up and hit the shot.
I know where you're coming from. I figured they would call timeout.
It was a great shot regardless. It's a shot that we've seen Murray make time and time again. It's just you're not going to make every shot. I do feel like Jokic is pretty dead on from the top of the key and on three-pointers or just to the left or right of it.
Even if he's not looking at the basket.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe that's the better play, but I'm not going to sit here and say that's the reason we lost. I'm not going to sit here and say that the terrible calls by the referees at times were the reason. I mean, Jimmy Butler was out of bounds on that pass to Gabe Vincent. His foot was half out of bounds.
Yep.
And then the other one is the Bam Adebayo goaltend. Yep. I've never seen a goaltend more clearly live that wasn't called.
Even Van Gundy said, like, wow, that was definitely going down. And Mark Jackson agreed,
well, he had to reach back. He jumps up straight and then ends up reaching back.
Yeah.
To block it, like clearly it's moved. So
I don't want to put it.
I'm not gonna say that's the reason they lost either. But
the Nuggets played bad. I'm not gonna put it on the refs. I totally agree. But finish your statement. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, the thing I was gonna get to is it had nothing to do with that. The Nuggets came out and were down 12 points in the first quarter at some point. They were terrible to start the game, and they had to dig back out of that hole just to get back into the game. And then they did the thing you can't do, which is let the Heat win the fourth quarter. They've been one of the best fourth quarter teams in the leagues in the playoffs so far, and we let them basically beat us in the fourth quarter, which is you can't let that happen.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the fight they have. Jimmy Butler is known for being the closer. He wasn't really good most of the game, but when it comes down to crunch time, that's when he's at his best.
Yeah, and that's a crazy thing. You really look at Jimmy Butler. He has yet to score his playoff average in this series. I think he only had in the teens last game. And then this game, I think he had, was it 21? Let me see here. Butler, game 1, he had 13 points. In game 2, 21. So, yeah, he's did better last game in terms of scoring, but the big thing for him was guarding Murray, and that
that is huge.
Them bringing Love in and putting him on Gordon was able to shift Butler to Murray, and that is just a huge thing in this game where Murray had no easy shots. He kept driving to the basket. He wasn't able to finish the way he was before because he had a more physical Jimmy Butler in front of him. Mm-hmm. And Spoelstra, like we talked about before the series started, is the key for Miami.
Oh, no doubt.
They're a bunch of dudes, and they're going to get it done, but Spoelstra knew we need to put somebody in to take away Jokic's outlets.
He is a smart guy.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing is taking away those back cuts that Jokic is so good at, because putting in Love, when Jokic gets the ball in the post, Love comes in, and then you got Bam there. He really can't do much. He can't find an outlet, and that's why we saw him only have 6 assists. 4 assists. And I've got it written down here. The Nuggets were 0-9 this year when Jokic had 4 assists or under.
Yeah, that, and also they are 0-3 in the playoffs when he scores 40 points or over.
Yeah,
and
that's a huge stat right there.
That's what he did in that game. I mean, if you can make him score and take away somebody else, they're screwed. And granted, I don't think we're going to see another game where MPJ is this bad at shooting. I think Malone calling him out. You could clearly see that he was out of it once he couldn't. This is one of those times we've talked about before where this playoffs we've seen a little bit of maturity from him, where if his shots aren't falling, he starts doing shit defensively, rebounds.
This was the first game we didn't see that.
Yeah, this is the first time that was like, oh, we've got the old MPJ again.
Zach Bye really brought it up and made a good point of it. That's like, if you're going through a shooting slump, it doesn't mean you need to take plays off or get, kind of just in your head about.
You just need to get back into the game.
You gotta get in.
Yeah.
And I saw a great still, and I know you probably saw it too, where he took that shot and at the block.
There's 3 guys around him that are wide open.
There's 3 guys around him, and then he's got Murray right there in the post. He's got Jokic right in the middle of the lane that's wide open, and he just shoots it. And it's because he's not getting a lot of shot attempts. So as soon as he gets the ball, he's not even looking at the rim. He's like, "Oh, I get it. I'll just shoot." It's horrible basketball, and I'm praying, because to me, I said it in the Phoenix series, where there was a game where it was purely on him.
Yeah.
He went like another 3 of 10 or something like that. As a starter, you got to at least have a decent game to win in the playoffs.
And I'm glad you mentioned the starter point. The starters are who failed the Nuggets this game.
Yeah.
They came out slow.
How about Christian Brown?
Christian Brown, the second quarter, the second unit, which we've bitched about all season, all playoffs, has been the worry, and yet they're the ones that brought us back into that game. They brought us back in. We were down. You had Christian Brown come out doing all types of things defensively, Bruce Brown doing all types of things defensively, and you're trying to make up for people like KCP, who we brought in here to shoot threes, and you're just struggling to get shit done that should be what this team does, and that's my whole point. I think this team is going to come back. They're going to do what they need to do to get shit done. I think they needed this wake-up call. We talked about it before we got going. They all went to Uncle Jeff's house last night.
Yeah.
They had dinner. I think they needed a little bit of a reset. I think they got punched in the mouth.
They need to be humbled.
Yeah, they were humble. I think they started smelling their own stank a little bit.
They had won 7 games in a row in the playoffs, which is really hard to do. They haven't lost a game since March.
Yeah.
27 days. And I don't blame them. You go that long, you start to feel yourself a little bit. You start to think, okay,
well, then you have
whatever.
9 days off before the fucking, finals start.
big
And
thing,
then
too.
I think Jeff Green said at one point he was sitting there watching the Boston Miami Heat series, and he's like, oh shit, we're still in the playoffs. Like, he literally had a brain fart where he was like, oh shit, we're waiting for them to finish so we can go play. Like, we've been off for that long.
Fuck, man.
So, I mean, I do think that did play a little bit into it, but that's no excuse, and that's why Malone called him out and said this is an effort thing. We didn't show up to play tonight.
I totally agree, man. I don't know if it got cut out or not, but MPJ, dude, he needs to fucking step it up. I know we've talked about him a little bit, but 3 of 17 over the last 2 games. I think he is 7 of 24. I don't want to give quite that number. I think it's worse than that.
In terms of his three-point shooting?
Yeah, I think he only made 5 points last game.
Let me tell you his three-point shooting. MPJ, 1 of 6 last game, 2 of 11 game 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's been bad.
You're right, 3 of 17.
Yep. I remember when we were covering like we were there. That would be cool.
We were.
Covering
we had
the Sun
press
series.
credentials and everything.
And I think it was that game where Booker went off for 50 something, and I was like, we had that loss because of MPJ. He just had a horrible game, and he keeps taking these jump shots where just like we saw in that.
Wasn't that one where he got that steal in the breakaway and just pulled up and missed that fucking three?
He does that a lot, dude. I don't get it. I mean, you're 6'10". What are you so scared of? And what's nuts?
Drive to the fucking rim.
I guess the only way I can give him the benefit of the doubt is when he was on the Red, Old Man of the Three, he talked about how he has to play with this back brace that no other NBA player has ever really tried to play with.
Yeah.
It's something that you normally wear while you're resting or while you're trying to rehab, but it's like a makeshift back brace. Maybe that's why he doesn't drive to the basket and all that, but you know what? This is the NBA Finals. I'm sorry to say it, but just nut up, man.
Well, and Jeff
Play
Green
through
came out and said it afterwards. It's the fucking NBA Finals, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And Malone said it too. It's here we are in the NBA Finals, and we're talking about effort. That should not be even remotely part of the conversation when you're in the NBA Finals and you're one of the best teams in the NBA. So
I was so glad he called him out for it, and I think it might be the difference maker because anytime Malone does call him out,
there's usually
a big response.
Well,
like you said, they only lost by 3, man. They were one so close, Murray 3 away from
and 2
winning.
bad calls and you win that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously, the calls, man.
Let's move into Game 3 because it's coming up tomorrow night. We're gonna get to sit here and watch it. What do you think happens? Give me your thoughts.
I think the Nuggets win by 7.
You think you got them at 7?
I think the Heat are going to be
I think they're
leading the game.
2.5. And
yeah, they're still favorites, which I don't like. But the thing of it is, I think the Heat lead and then go into the half with a 5-point lead, maybe even a 10-point lead. And I think Malone drills them again and says, you guys are going to fall 2-1, maybe even 3-1 after the next game and go back to Denver with the chance for them to close it out.
Well, and a lot of things people talk about is Game 3. The winner of Game 3 usually goes on to win
80%.
Yeah, over 80%. So,
yep.
I think the Nuggets are going to win Game 3. I think this was, like I said, it's almost like that old Mike Tyson saying, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. I think the Nuggets got punched in the mouth on Sunday, and they it was Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday night.
Shit, yeah, fuck.
I think we're going to see a big
travel.
response from Murray too, man. Murray
I
scoring
think this is
going to
be a Murray game.
This is one of the first games in a long time he's scored under 25, and I think we're going to be seeing a different Murray in this game.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be one of the deciding factors of the game. This is probably going to be a game where he outscores Jokic, but I think Jokic is going to barely get a triple-double, probably with like 10 assists. It's going to be a lower-end triple-double, but I think he's going to get it. I think the Nuggets are going to win. They might lose the 4th game and then come back. This could be a 6-game series. I still got him in 5.
It's hard to tell, man.
Still got him in 5. It's still a possibility until we see what happens tomorrow night. So I got Nuggets in 5. I think they are going to win Game 3. On that, let's move to the penalty box. We're just going to kind of fly through the penalty box this week. We've both been super busy and not able to go as in-depth as we would like in terms of some of the things. So let's get into it.
It's easy to do because Las Vegas is taking things over.
Las Vegas is dominating. I've been wrong.
7 goals last night, man.
I've been wrong. They stopped Bobrovsky. The 2-time Vezina winner was basically benched last night. I think with 7:10 left in the second period, replaced by Alex Lyon. Bobrovsky has allowed 8 goals on 46 shots in 86 minutes and 56 seconds of playing time so far in this Cup final. He allowed 4 on 13 shots on Monday night, which is terrible for a goalie, especially one of his caliber.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what we talked about last week. This all decides on who's the better goalie at the end of the day.
Yep.
We talked about how it's one of the more important positions in professional sports.
Well, did you see that save that the Knights goalie had with
Aiden Hill? Oh, when
stick?
He was all the way out of the goal and fucking taps it with his stick.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, and that's
effort. That's effort.
Exactly. And you can't put this all on Bobrovsky either, because this is the 5th time in 12 games that Vegas has chased a goalie out of the net and has been replaced.
Jesus.
So this is what they do.
And it reminds me just of times in the past where you see franchises or teams that have made it to the finals, the championship, whether it be NBA, Super Bowl, or whatever, and they fall short. And then they get there again. They realize how much that hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to bring it up, but I just, like, I guess because I've seen and heard so much interviews and stuff, like, the Chiefs were asked, like, what was better, winning that first Super Bowl or, like, when you felt that loss of the Bucs Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They feel that loss more. It's so shitty to get to the top.
Yeah.
And then fall
winning's
short.
cool, but it sucks when you lose. It lasts a lot longer.
When all the lights are on, when you're there in the spotlight. And I think when the Knights have done that, back in 2019 or something it was, I really think
they actually didn't win.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's because they didn't
lost,
win. That is motivating them more.
I made that mistake. I wanted to rebuttal that, I guess, in terms of, all right, let's clarify that mistake. I said they did, I think, won in their 3rd year. They did not win.
No.
So, but yeah.
To the Capitals, so Ovechkin.
Yes, sir. Florida was just outplayed entirely, especially on breakaway and rush plays. It's not all on Florida either, though, as no team has been as dominant as the Knights have been over 2 games in 25 years. They outscored the Panthers by 8 goals, winning by 3 on Saturday and 5 last night. The last team to do that was the 96 Avs, who outscored the Florida Panthers by 9 goals in the first 2 games. So this is unfortunately a shitty statistic that keeps following the Panthers around. That's a hard thing to say.
They haven't won a
shitty
playoff
statistic.
game since the 96.
Yeah, well,
or
the
not
finals,
even 96.
in the finals.
Not even, yeah.
They haven't won a finals game since
Ever.
ever. Yeah.
Yep.
So the Knights are now 2 wins away from their first championship in the franchise's first 6 years of existence.
The series heads to Florida.
It heads to Florida. It's tomorrow, or it's tonight.
No, it's not tonight. No.
I thought it was tonight.
I think it'd be tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure.
They wouldn't put it on the same night.
Or not tomorrow night, but I think it's Thursday.
Is it? They can't go that long.
Dude, they've been spacing out these finals like
The
crazy.
the NBA finals is ridiculous. 2 nights in between each one is stupid.
It's so dumb.
Shit. I thought it was tonight. I'm sorry.
And
my phone's going slow.
I know my internet's pretty slow right now too. Bear with us, listeners.
Yes. Wait. What?
It's almost there. Yep, Thursday night.
Thursday night. Fuck. Okay, I was way off.
They normally try not to schedule the NBA and NHL and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens on Thursday night. Jonathan Marchessault for the Panthers scored twice and also had an assist to finish with 3 points. His 12 postseason goals. Oh shit. Jonathan Marchessault's on the. I'm sorry. He's on the Golden Knights. I misspoke. He now has 3 points with 12 postseason goals. He sets a Golden Knight record. All these goals all coming after the first round. The Knights are taking advantage of an undisciplined Panthers. Case in point, the hit by Tkachuk on Eichel that sent his helmet flying, and him skating to the bench only to return and get another assist was one of those points where it's like they're trying too much to try and bully ball these guys and just fucking dominate them as much as they can, and it's working against
that
them at this
highlight
point.
was fucking cool, man. That was hockey in a nutshell right there.
Dude, he
fucking gets a hit and then goes and gets an assist.
Annihilated. Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
I'm surprised. I don't know if that's a failing of the concussion protocol in the NHL or not, but he was concussed. I'm sorry. You don't get hit that fucking hard and you're fine.
Yeah,
who
knows, man?
It's impossible.
NHL, it's a different ball.
Yeah,
it's a gray
The
area.
NHL is nuts. Let's see here. Brett Howden scored twice, and Alec Martinez, Nicholas Roy, and Michael Amadio all scored as well. 6 players had 2 points for Vegas. 9 goal scorers for Vegas through the first 2 games is a Cup final record. In terms of
7 is a lot. Last night I put $3 on the Knights to win by 2.
You got
then
that
I
one
woke
easy.
up, and they easily won.
Yeah. In terms of the Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk and Anton Lundell were the only goal scorers for Florida. Aiden Hill outdueled the 2-time Vezina Trophy winner with 29 saves for the Knights. Hill has become the hero for Knights. I guess most of the time they put him on the Jumbotron or said his name. He got the biggest cheers. I don't know if you've watched these games yet, but Vegas, in terms of like the atmosphere there, it's nuts.
Oh yeah.
It's
they're
like
all
a
about
fucking
it.
party. Have you seen that intro where the knight skates around?
No.
And then like a dragon is
Whoa, that's
It's
cool.
like a whole bunch of crazy
Fuck
shit
yeah,
going on.
man.
So they're really leaning into
They're
that.
all about showmanship in Vegas.
Yeah, you gotta be.
You gotta.
You know, Siegfried and Roy. You know
I
what
hope
mean?
Celine Dion comes out there and sings the national anthem. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That's gonna do it. I mean, we're moving to Florida Thursday night. Florida has to win. It's a must win.
I think the Knights take Game 3, and I think the Panthers will squeeze
Squeak
by
out
with
of
the Game 4.
and it's a gentleman's sweep in 5.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think you're probably right. I thought maybe just whatever gumption the Panthers had to get this far was going to keep them going, but they have run into the proverbial buzzsaw that is the Golden Knights, and they're getting chopped down at the knees. So
They're motivated, man.
they definitely are. On that note, Chad, I hear something in the distance.
Is it? Is it
the
Grand Ole Opry having John Daly on?
I think it is, and I think I hear him in the distance. He's playing
Hit It Hard, man.
We'll be right back with the Daily Dose of Excellence, and then we're getting the hell out of here, and we will see you guys shortly.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, live it large. I hit it.
And we are back for the final time of episode 37 of Fringe Fanatics.
Dude, our fans are so lucky they
They're
get to hear John Daly every week.
Dude,
when we first
hit
started
it
doing
hard,
this, we
you know
were
what I
like,
mean?
I can't believe this isn't like a copyright issue or anything like that. And you know what? I guarantee
Still
you
hasn't
he's probably
been.
heard. There's been 37 episodes for
And
him
we
to
tag
check
him
out.
quite often, so hopefully he
I
heard
guarantee you he's probably heard him and like, keep using it.
it. Yeah,
Keep
you
using
guys,
it.
you boys know what's up.
Yeah. So we're
Well, that's
fine.
right. We're here. It's the DDOE, the Daily Dose of Excellence. You just heard John Daly hit it hard, man. And the Daily Dose of Excellence this week is somebody we talked about having on a couple weeks ago because he had his first start. I mean, he came into a game for the first time after surviving cancer. This is Liam Hendriks, Chicago White Sox pitcher. He survived stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which he was diagnosed with in January. He underwent both immunotherapy and chemotherapy. He made a full recovery. He has made a pitching appearance since then, and that was a very big deal. But the reason that he is on right now, and we almost brought him up for that one, is the fact that he gets his first win after surviving cancer. And guess what day it is, Chad, that he did it on? You know this.
On Cancer Survivors Day.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
A man who survived cancer gets his first win of the season after returning from being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he comes out and dominates.
He does, man. It was a great story.
It is super great. It's nice. We've seen a few people like this. There was a guy in the Rockies who came back from testicular cancer last year, Connor Joe. It's crazy to see people be able to do that and then come back and perform at like a high level like they do.
Yeah.
You know, to be
it reminds me of Eric Berry, man. I mean,
another one.
And
Huge
it's
one.
the same type of cancer, lymphoma. It's an amazing. I mean, the coincidence that it happened on National Cancer Survivors Day is amazing. I mean, his team rallied around him. It's amazing. I want to bring this up because it's not only amazing that this guy did this. He is a top level athlete, a pitcher in the major leagues. You know, got a strong arm and everything like this. We will give him his flowers. There's no doubt about that. But it did come on National Cancer Survivors Day, and I guess I want to just recognize and give a moment to all of those out there. And I guarantee you, there's a lot of listeners out there that probably somehow or another 6 degrees of separation, unfortunately, know somebody that has cancer or
succumbed to cancer.
It may be themselves or just something like that. Because I can name off the top of my head. Talking about baseball, dude. One of the big reasons why I'm a Braves fan is my mom is a Braves fan, and her best friend growing up, and when she was a young teenager, mid-adult herself, was best friends with Lori Turner, who has been battling cancer for 7 years herself. And so I just want to give this as a moment, not to take any shine away from Hendriks or anything like that, but just, I guess, to give a lot of applause to the people that are out there battling cancer, because when I thought I had a shitty day today. I'm dealing with a lazy worker right now, and it's so frustrating.
Hopefully
but when
he hears this, fuck you, lazy worker.
Exactly. Thank you. Fuck you, fat ass. But seriously, it's
now
like
we can narrow it down to who it is.
Yeah, pretty easily. Everybody knows who it is. But the thing of it is like I didn't have a bad day. People out there that have to go through chemo or even sitting next to holding the hand of someone that has cancer are really having a bad day, and I really feel for them, and my thoughts and prayers go out to them. Lori Turner battling for 7 years. It breaks my heart, and I really hope someday there's a miracle where she can pull out of this. I just lost an uncle, John Leon. 58 years old, way too young. He has
Definitely
like a 2-year-old son, man. It's such a shame, and it's just cancer takes too many people. So I just want to give a shout out to those out there that are battling it, those out there that know somebody battling it. Cancer fucking sucks, and I don't think we can ever say it enough. I feel like all the money that is donating to it, whatever type of fucking tinfoil hat corruption that is keeping this whole cancer wheel turning, let's stop this, and can we just fucking end this so that we can keep these people and loved ones around?
At the end of the day, I think we can all agree that that's a big fuck you to cancer, because, there's not anybody that I know that hasn't had somebody, whether it be like direct family, friends, or whatever, that's been, affected by cancer, and, it's one of those things where it's just like, at this point, like I think 1 in 4 people end up getting cancer or die from cancer.
I think breast cancer is like 1 in 3. Prostate cancer is
go get that finger up your butt, people. It needs to happen.
I think they do it a
I think
different
we're
way
supposed
nowadays.
to start,
but
no, I
you
think
know what?
you
If
still
you
got
like
your
that,
finger up the butt.
I thought they do it like with the camera now.
Either way, something's going up your butt. So you better get ready for
That's
it.
a clip, dude. That's awesome. Either way. If you like it.
One time
get it
I
checked
got
out.
internal hemorrhoids from drinking too much, and I didn't know
Dude,
what was
what?
going on. I haven't
You
told you
never
this.
told me about
Oh, dude. Oh man, this is.
I
not-
never knew you could
We
get
don't need to.
internal.
We don't. See, this is supposed to be like a cancer, like fuck cancer, and now we're talking about my hemorrhoids.
It's a good
Okay,
light.
so
It makes
yeah,
it
let's
light.
make some light of this. I didn't know you get internal hemorrhoids either. One day I went to take a poop, and I stood up, and it looked like, remember those?
You're gonna give me a visual.
You remember the spin arts? Where you drop the paint on there and
Oh
it spun
my
around?
god, you nasty fuck.
It looked like I dropped paint into water, but it was blood,
It
and
was
I
blood,
freaked out, and I was like, if that happens again tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the doctor.
That's fucking
And then,
nasty.
lo and behold, it happened again the next day, and I was like, I'm gonna give it one more day. And then
One more day.
If I'm still pooping blood, I'm gonna go to the doctor.
Oh
And
my
sure as
God,
shit,
Chris.
no pun intended, I pooped blood again, and then I went to the doctor, and I was like, so, I'm pooping blood. And I was like, I have been drinking an excessive amount lately. I was drinking Sailor Jerry's. This was around the Miranda.
Oh.
This was Miranda days, I think.
Fuck you, Miranda.
think it was
You're a
around
bad
then.
influence. I remember
No,
those days.
maybe it wasn't. It was before
Well,
that. It was way before that.
You were always drinking a lot back then.
Thank you. I
It's
have a
just the
problem.
way
it was.
Yeah. just the way
This
it
it was
is.
before this. Because it was way before that. No, it was way before that. I was like 20. No, I was like 18.
That is way before that.
So yeah, I was drinking like a bottle of Sailor Jerry's a night, 92 proof rum. I didn't think
drink
anything of it.
responsibly,
Drink
friends.
responsibly, people, everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it. So anyways, I go to the doctor, and I'm like, yeah, so like I'm bleeding when I poop a little bit, and he's like, okay. And I didn't know this was gonna happen. He was like, all right, so go ahead and drop your pants and bend over the table. And I was like, whoa, this
Oh,
is
you're like,
happening.
yay.
Yeah. Yes, queen. No, and then so I bend over the table, and then he fucking lubes himself up, goes in with a finger, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to send a scope in. And I was like, I don't like the sound of that.
Whoa.
So I had a little scope go in there, and they looked in, and he's like, yeah, you got internal hemorrhoids. And I was like, I thought they were only on the outside. And he's like, nope, they're on the inside too, and yours
not
have
good.
like, I guess, like ruptured.
Like a pimple, pretty much. I
Yeah,
guess.
basically, I had a bloody pimple in my butt, and
Dude,
then I was
that's-
peeing blood out of my butt a
I
little
didn't
bit.
realize like drinking would fucking do that.
I didn't
That
either.
sucks, man.
Well, I learned something new. So don't drink high proof alcohol, and don't drink in excessive amounts, people. But let's get back
Wow.
to the story at
Well,
hand.
dude,
Needless
I
to
think
say,
that's a
that
good
was
warning.
that was also the first time I ever had to deal with suppositories.
Oh, you had to use those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And you don't know what it's like to you walk around all day with a greasy butt because you got a suppository
Yeah,
up there with like
push up
it's
there.
basically like the best way I can describe it is like they took Neosporin and like vacuum sealed it into like a little like bullet shape, and then you just put that up your butt.
God damn. I am so glad I've never had to do that, man. That sounds awful.
Oh man, I'm glad not a lot of people
Well,
listen
I've
to
got
this
cousins,
podcast
dude.
right now.
No, I've got cousins that are like 18, 19, and I'm sure they drink a lot. And so maybe this could deter them a little bit.
If I can deter one person from bleeding out of their butt and being really scared about it, then you know what? This podcast has done
We're
something
getting
good.
a lot of good clips from this episode, man. This is on Bleeding from the Butt. That's the title of this
This is
episode.
it. Bleeding from the butt. We'll get into all the algorithms then.
I'm telling you.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Anyways,
I'm
we
telling
gotta
you,
we really gotta circle back though before
full
before
circle
we take this.
to Liam Hendricks.
Liam Hendricks, dude, you are a man. You're the dude.
You are
Comes
the
back.
dude.
You beat cancer, beat non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. You get your first win of the season. And I'm sorry that I ruined it all by talking about my bleedy butt. But on that
I'm
note,
sure you entertained him.
if he gets a laugh out of it, we'll tag him in it. We'll see if he responds. On that note, Liam Hendricks, you are the Daily Dose of Excellence. This has been episode 37 of Fringe Fanatics.
That was a stamp by John Daly, too.
Yes, it was.
Of
And
approval.
Chadley, I love you, buddy.
I love you, friend.
And we love each and every one of you out there in the ether that listen to us. And on that note,
Good
one more
episode,
time,
man.
and on that note, we love you guys. This has
Thanks
been
for
Fringe
listening.
Fanatics. We will see you next week. See you later. Toodles.